What's up guys, it's Tommy here and welcome to a brand new Liverpool transfer news video because Jack Lusby and various other journalists are reporting that Milos Kerkez wants to sign for Liverpool and Liverpool have opened talks for the £50 million left-back transfer target, and it remains to be seen whether Bournemouth will want to do a deal in January, but I think next summer Liverpool are 100% signing a left-back and Milos Kerkez is the prime candidate. He's just 21 years old and he had absolutely stupendous, brilliant game against Newcastle, where Bournemouth smashed Newcastle, who were on a 9-game winning run in a row, and yet they lost at home to Bournemouth 4-1, and Kerkez scored a brilliant fourth goal for Bournemouth after a step over. He cuts onto his left foot, his stronger foot, and smashes it past Dubravka. It's a brilliant goal. I'm sure many of you guys have watched it. And how are we feeling today after Darwin Núñez scored 2 late goals to become the hero for Liverpool? And that result was made even better when Arsenal were 2-0 up at home and they dropped 2 points after 2 defensive lapses of concentration. Aston Villa equalized. Then Arsenal thought they scored the winner, but Kai Havertz handballed it, Mika Marina's shot, and the VAR rightfully disallowed it for offside. So Liverpool have a 6-point lead with a game in hand as well. But that game in hand is at Goodison Park, so we don't count those points just yet. But a 6-point lead at this stage of the season is a very, very good lead, especially because Arsenal have a dreadful record against the top half teams. We will talk about that as well, but they have only 13 points in 11 games against top half teams. So hopefully they will keep dropping points, and that will give Liverpool one hell of a chance to win the Premier League title. But we still have 70 games to play, so a lot going on and a lot will happen. But Liverpool will ride this wave of momentum after Darwin Núñez's late winners. So let me know how are you feeling in the comments below. Leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you are new around here so you never miss the latest updates around Liverpool FC. So it is widely accepted that Liverpool will look to sign a new first choice left back. Robertson is struggling for consistency. He came on in the second half, he gave some balls away, and Tsimikas is not like a nailed on first choice left back either, because he's just not as good as what a world class left back needs to be in a Liverpool team which is challenging for the Premier League title, challenging for the Champions League. And Tsimikas is not the long-term answer, even though he is right now better than Robertson, but that's not saying much because of how bad Robertson has been. Tsimikas also couldn't really handle Mbumo a couple of times. He got done and he picked up an early yellow card, and that's why he was substituted. But reports are coming that Liverpool are one of the sides who have contacted Kerkez's representatives. And of course, Man City and Man United are also interested, but Liverpool are the favourites because Kerkez favours a move to Liverpool. Even though Bournemouth have no plans to sell Kerkez in January, a big offer could tempt them because Kerkez would surely love to play for Liverpool. He already has, Richard Hughes, the sporting director who brought him to Bournemouth, working at Liverpool, and also he has a Hungarian fellow countryman Szoboszlai playing at the club. And look at the Bournemouth team. Apart from the goalkeeper and Huijsen, all the other Bournemouth players were bought in by Richard Hughes, and the current manager of Bournemouth, Andoni Iraola, who is doing a fabulous job, he was brought in by Richard Hughes as well. So Richard Hughes needs to start working on transfers because he has a clear talent for that, but we haven't seen that much. But journalists Pete Hole and Mark Douglas explained that Bournemouth have no interest in Ben Doak, who is currently on loan at Middlesbrough, and there were rumours of Liverpool using Doak in a swap deal for striker Antoine Semenyo, but Bournemouth are not really interested in that, and they wouldn't want to lose any of their first choice players, especially not the striker, because both Enes Unal and Evan Nielsen are out injured for months. So Bournemouth scoring 4 goals without their 2 main strikers is very, very impressive indeed. And even though Kerkez is only 21 years old. He already lived and played in Serbia, Austria, Hungary, Italy and the Netherlands and now England in his club career, and he speaks a lot of languages: German, English, Hungarian and Serbian. And Kerkez played Arne Slot's Feyenoord twice while he was playing at AZ Alkmaar. They lost both games. And interestingly, Kerkez also faced the Liverpool under-19s twice in 21-22 with AC Milan's youth side, coming up against the likes of Conor Bradley and Tyler Morton. Of course, the big audition for Kerkez will be when Bournemouth host Liverpool in a couple of weeks' time, but until then we still have a lot of home games to play. We play Lille and then Ipswich, and then we play PSV Eindhoven in the last Champions League game. But Paul Joyce confirmed that the sporting director of Liverpool, Richard Hughes, is already assessing left-back options, primarily because Andy Robertson will turn 31 years old, and Milos Kerkez is among those players being considered for the left-back role. Harvey Elliott and Luis Diaz also have 2 years left on their deals, so we either need to extend their contracts or sell them in the summer. I don't want Harvey Elliott to be sold. Luis Diaz, I will only sell him if we can use that money to buy a brilliant striker, and I will only sell Luis Diaz if he really wants to leave to go to Spain, but that is a question that only Luis Diaz can answer. And Jamie Carragher urged Liverpool to buy Kerkez. He said that he has been a revelation this season for Bournemouth, and Kerkez has had a brilliant game against Newcastle. He won 3 of his 5 duels. He completed 100% of his dribbles and he made 5 defensive contributions. And he gave Jacob Murphy such a torrid time on that left wing of Bournemouth's attack that Jacob Murphy had to be substituted. And a lot of Liverpool fans, after Kerkez's brilliant performances lately, have been telling the club that they should sign him in January. And I think that would definitely push Liverpool over the line when it comes to the title, because the only position which I'm really worried for is the left back area. That's the one weakness where Liverpool can be hurt, and that where Liverpool is the weakest probably in their whole team. And a lot of Liverpool fans are very excited about the links to Milos Kerkez. His performances have drawn attention from Liverpool, and here are some of the fan responses. And a lot of Liverpool fans said, "Get your money out, Liverpool, and sign Kerkez in January. Please sign him up." Another Liverpool fan said, "We need him desperately. A left back that offer attacking, desperate, defensive and scoring options. So Kerkez should be signed by Liverpool." That's what many Liverpool fans are saying. And even Fabrizio Romano said that Milos Kerkez scores for Bournemouth and he keeps to performing at the top levels this season. Man United and Liverpool are both closely monitoring his progress. So I'm sure that the Liverpool scouts have been watching Kerkez extensively. And I think Arne Slot made a great decision, taking Robertson out of the firing line, starting Tsimikas against Brentford. And Robertson can play these Champions League games, which are not that important for Liverpool right now. We are already through to the last 8. So Tsimikas should play the league games and Robertson should play the cup games. But Tsimikas didn't start really well against Brentford. As I said, he got done by Mbumo. He put him back, it was a yellow card, and he couldn't fully deal with the pace of Brian Mbumo. Not a lot of left backs can deal with the pace of those kind of players, but Kerkez, who is faster than both Tsimikas and Robertson, would have definitely done a better job, and this highlighted the problem that Liverpool have at the left back area. Now let's talk about the title race, because I think this is a very, very significant conversation in Liverpool's season as well. So Liverpool are at the same position that we were 2 game weeks ago, but now we are 2 games further in the season. So we are 6 points clear of Arsenal with a game in hand. We drew the last 2 games and then we won a game, but Arsenal also have drawn 2 games and won 1 in the Premier League. And now let's look at Arsenal's record, because against the top half of teams, in 11 games Arsenal have only 2 wins and only 13 points. Their full record reads against the top half teams: 2 wins, 7 draws and 2 defeats. And you can pull out the excuses that Arsenal have been ravaged by injuries, that they got suspensions, but all the teams have to deal with that. And yes, some teams are luckier with injuries than others, but the notion that Liverpool didn't have injuries this season. It's absolute nonsense. At one stage, Liverpool had like 8 or 9 players out injured, and we had significant minutes missed by Alisson, our first choice goalkeeper, Konate, our first choice centre back. Trent Alexander-Arnold had an injury where Conor Bradley had to play. Against the bottom half teams, Arsenal have a stellar record: 10 wins, 1 draw, 0 defeats, 31 points picked up from a possible 33. But until Arsenal can put on a winning run, I can't see them overtaking Liverpool. At the moment, if Arsenal win all of their games, they can only get to 92 points. And Liverpool's average points tally so far are around 90 points. So I think even 85 points could win the title. And if Arsenal can only drop like 7 points in the remaining 16 games to get to 85 points, so Arsenal would need an absolutely amazing run in the last 16 games. Without Saka, without Gabriel Jesus, that will be difficult, and Saliba missed the Aston Villa game as well, so it was no coincidence that they conceded 2 goals. The big question is, can Liverpool seal the title early before the last 5 game weeks, which is brutally difficult for Liverpool. But until then, Arsenal's fixture list are much more difficult. For Liverpool to get to 85 points, we can still drop like 16 points or something crazy like that. So the gap between Liverpool and Arsenal are the same as it was a week ago, and now we are 2 games closer to the finish line. People need to stop reacting to drop points like Liverpool are up against prime Man City, because this Arsenal team, with of course riddled with injuries, won't put on a 19 game winning run. This is Arteta's Arsenal, not the same standards. And by the way, how bonkers is it that the captain of chaos, Darwin Núñez, has more 90th minute winners in Premier League history away from home than any other player? That is absolutely mind-blowing. He already won 3 games in stoppage time away from home. Absolutely stellar. And also Liverpool broke another record since Opta started recording statistics in 2003. No away team has had 37 shots away from home until Liverpool had that amount against Brentford. So that was another very, very impressive performance. Of course, the result is the most important, but the performance was very impressive. The last 35 minutes against Nottingham Forest, we looked like we are back to our best, and against Brentford, with a little bit sharper finishing, Liverpool could have scored 4 or 5 goals. The Brentford boss, Thomas Frank, said, "We just played Man City at home, Arsenal at home, and now Liverpool in a short amount of time. And for me, Liverpool are a level above the other 2 teams. They are a complete side, Liverpool. It's the best team in the Premier League and in the world. They are huge favourites to win the title." That's what Thomas Frank said, so credit to him for praising Liverpool, and that is his words, and I'm really, really happy to hear that, because Arsenal and Man City are incredibly good teams. For Liverpool to be a level above them shows how consistent Liverpool have been, and it's no surprise that Arne Slot Liverpool is being talked about this way, because Thomas Frank is also a manager who prioritizes fundamentals, who with even more emphasis on the physical aspects of the game above all else. And Thomas Frank is also a manager, just like Arne Slot, who likes to keep it simple. And the fact that Thomas Frank said that Liverpool are not just a physical and tactically well-drilled team, they run back when they lose the ball and they work incredibly hard, and you have to do that if you want to win the title. It's also very important to note that Darwin Núñez is a confidence player. He doesn't show composure a lot of the times. Because he already scored the first goal, that's when he showed composure before his second goal, because confidence and composure go hand in hand. And Darwin Núñez is a classic striker, but he needs to do more of what he did at the end with his movement in the box. He wants to get involved too much, maybe dropping deep into midfield, and plays to his weaknesses in a league where the standard is too high to allow that. He needs confidence, and he gets that by doing what he's best at, being in the box, in and around the box, getting on the end of crosses, getting on the end of low blow balls into the box, and scoring, because he should be a fox in the box. He doesn't need to get involved that much in the build-up play. Of course, we don't know exactly what Arne Slot is asking of him, and Harvey Elliott shows why he became such an important player. under Jurgen Klopp. He has a kind of composure you need when unlocking a low block that Jurgen Klopp faced nearly every week. Elliott was integral in both goals today, and he will surely continue to be a key part of the team under Arne Slot, and hopefully Arne Slot will be able to play the likes of Harvey Elliott and Darwin Núñez and Chiesa more in these upcoming Champions League games, because we need to get these players up to speed, and hopefully Conor Bradley can start against Lille, and I would save Liverpool's best team for the Premier League games and I will rotate in the Champions League games, and hopefully Arne Slot will see it that way. I would actually start Harvey Elliott against Lille, and I would start Darwin Núñez as well, just to get get their confidence up. Maybe even start Chiesa instead of Salah. As mad as that sounds, Salah maybe is in need of a break, even though he created 7 chances against Brentford, so he was unlucky not to score or get an assist. Let me know what they think in the comments below, and thanks for watching. Have a nice day. See you later. Goodbye.